Welcome to the Craft Parenting Podcast, a podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. Again, I'm sorry. You're welcome. I don't know. Let me know how you feel in the comments, I guess. We're back to another Just Caroline episode. Unfortunately, this time I do not have a guest, but the next time I come out here, I will for sure have a guest, and hopefully Joe will be able to join me as well. So today, I am on location at Hearth Brewing in Harrison, Ohio, because West Side. And I convinced the grandparents, I mean, it wasn't really that hard to convince them, that we should just all hang out here for dinner. And since we were going to do that, it made 0 sense to go home for work. I can just come here and enjoy some beers with you, my lovely listener. And you can help me. Well, you can't really help. You can hang out. Maybe pour yourself a beer, unless you're doing something where beer is not a good idea to be drinking it right now. Yeah. Drink responsibly, please. I'm going to enjoy some Hearth beers and talk about this gorgeous place. We'll start off with the hearth of it all. If you're watching on video, I made sure to get the hearth in the background. Very much looking forward to some very cold fall days or winter days when they will have a fire in their hearth. Right now it's full of pumpkins because it's pumpkin season, y'all. And unfortunately, I don't have a pumpkin beer out of any of these, but soon there will be pumpkin beer. So I'm going to do the stinger because we never do that. And I am going to talk you through what I'm currently drinking, which is, oh my goodness, I should have written this down. I did. I took a picture. Let me find the picture. So I am currently drinking a raspberry Berliner Weiss, which is a sour and is 5 IBUs and 3.8%. I figured out it would be a nice crisp beer to start off my drinking with. And it is. It's a little bit hazy. It's got a nice little pink tinge to it, so it's kind of orange as opposed to just being a straight like yellow beer. It still has some head. And I got this about 40 minutes ago, if not a little bit longer ago. So it's still doing really good. It's very crisp. If it was hot outside today, I would be chugging this right now. Fortunately, we got a nice, cool start of the fall day today. And then my first beer on my flight is a Harrison Hoppenins. So that is a juicy IPA. It is 35 IBUs, but the IBUs are made up and don't matter, and 6.7% ABV. So I have not had this beer yet. Actually, I have not had any of the beers on my flight board today, because the last time we came here, I'm pretty sure I got a Wake Up Betty and maybe a Vienna Lager. I think that's what Joe got me as my first beer, and I did not get a Vienna Lager today. Ooh, that is definitely a juicy IPA. It's a little bit juicy, and it's got that nice IPA kind of bitter sting to it. This, again, would be really, really good if it was super hot outside. It's still really good right now. But I would enjoy that very much after a beer. For me, it's the perfect amount of bitter. Because 35 IBU, well, IBU doesn't really tell you much. It's enough that that you can taste it and you can tell the hops are there, but it's not going to totally wreck your palate, which I love. So I know that my next beer I'm going to be able to enjoy right off the bat instead of having to wait 2 or 3 sips to clear those hops off my palate. And then we'll see how many sips of these beers I manage to take and how long we have a conversation today, since I am on my own. So as I said, I am at Hearth Brewing in Harrison, Ohio. It is the newest tap room, but it's also a brewery in Harrison. It's right down the street from Fretboard's tap room in Harrison, but Fretboard is in like historic downtown, very, very close to Indiana. Like you can see Indiana if you're standing outside of Fretboard. This is very much in like the more residential shopping kind of Like, we're right down the street from Kroger. I'm pretty sure there's a Big Lots in this parking lot. So it's a little bit more open here. Parking is a lot easier to come by. Their parking lot is very big and is attached to an even larger parking lot. So parking will not be an issue at all. We'll see if I remember, or if when Joe gets here, he remembers, where we can do a video tour similar to maybe what we did when we did Tailgate. I listened to the Tailgate episode, but I did not watch the Tailgate episode. Julia said that Joe cut in pictures of the tap room, but it's Truth, Beer, and Consequences. So I can't trust that. I love you guys, but I need to make sure that I watch my own podcast before I listen to you. Which actually reminds me, I have stickers in my car. If I remember, and if I don't, Julia, Marco, this is your permission to harass me about it. I have Truth, Beer, and Consequences stickers in my car. I can get one of those when I put all the podcast equipment back and stick one somewhere. I also have an I'm Gnarly, I Drink Local sticker in my car. For some reason, I put them in my work lunchbox. Makes 0 sense. But that's not the important thing right now. The important thing right now is that we're at Hearth Brewing. So I am currently sitting at a giant table that sits 10 people because soon the family will join me, and so I will need the majority of these seats. And we are in their very open air brewery. So the joy of this place is that they refurbished this building because it used to be an old Burwinkle farm stand. So it was Burwinkle Barn. They sold produce out of here. There's a greenhouse outside, which they have now converted to an outside patio space that is covered. There's chalk out there, so kids can go hog wild outside with chalk while you're drinking a beer. The name of the game with this place is that it's very family friendly. They also have QR codes on every table. So make sure you keep it on your table, please. The last time we were here, ours got moved, so we didn't know that it existed. And then somebody showed up with a giant pretzel to our table that got Elliot very excited. But with the QR code, they will deliver beer to your... So once you have a tab set up, either at... I think you can only order food at the bar. I'm 75% sure on that one. Once you have a tab set up at the bar, you can then tie that into your table. So you can scan the QR code and say, hey, yeah, this is my tab. And you can order beer, you can order food to come to your table, which is very handy. So I will use it when Joe gets here. I went back up to the bar to order my flight because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted, and I knew that I needed a picture of the tap board. So, yeah, this place is very family friendly. They've got some wood stairs behind me, if you can see those, that go behind the hearth. And upstairs, they have even more seating. And I'm hoping to go up there once the kids get here because they have a whole boatload of games, I was told by one of the owners. And I am super excited to see what they have and see if the kids would be interested in playing something. They're not super into playing games yet, but they do enjoy the thought of playing games. And we'll create new games with the pieces, which is a lot of fun to watch. So I'm going to get into my second beer, which is a Burwinkle Ale. Sorry, it's a Burwink Ale. It's a play on words because it used to be Burwinkle and now it's a Burwink Ale. This is a cream ale. It is 20 IBUs and 4.7% ABV. Ooh, that's smooth. It does remind me of Little Kings, which I need to buy a case of Little Kings. No, we still have Little Kings in our fridge. Do not buy more Little Kings, Caroline. You already have some there. Well, this is a nice, smooth beer. Ooh, if they put this in cans, this might be my new Christmas beer. Uh-oh. What will I do without all those little green cans? Little green bottles. For those new to the show, our family, well, mostly Joe's family, used to, and still kind of does, crush a lot of Little Kings during Christmas Eve. We would get 1 or 2 cases, and they would be gone by the end of the night. And at least half people would have a little King's bottle in their hand in most of the photos. This is really good. I'm really enjoying this. So, Hearth Brewing, they opened up September 28th. So they've been open for 2 weeks now. This is their third full weekend open. I am super excited for all the beers that I'm drinking today. And super excited for some of the beers that they have coming up in the fermenters right now. So when they opened, Gnome was able to have their pumpkin beer. And by the time we came on Sunday, they were all sold out of it. But it's in the tanks right now, and it hopefully will be on tap coming up this Sunday, which would be the 13th. As of today, when I'm recording this, I don't know exactly when Joe's going to post this. They also have a porter, a West Coast IPA, and a wheat beer, I believe. I didn't write down the fourth one fast enough. I'm pretty confident it was a wheat. And so far, I've had at least 4 of their beers, and they've all been very solid, which isn't super surprising. Because their head brewer is, Joe sent me some information. He's Corey, and he went to Cincinnati State for brewing. He's worked at a few different breweries in the area, and now he is here as the head brewer, brewing a bunch of beers with the owners who used to homebrew and have homebrewed much longer than I have been drinking beer. And like you can tell that these are people that know what they're doing, because these are very solid beers right off the gate. I know we've talked about this on the podcast before, but definitely gone are the days of you can open up with okay beers and still stay open. These are very solid beers. Ooh, and I'm super excited about all of them. So, about this place. Yeah, so they have food, so Hearth, they do lots of things that are fire-based. They have a stone oven for their kitchen, and they do lots of pizza. The pizza that we got last time was really good. It was just a plain pepperoni. Excuse me. Because that's what the kids want. But it was really good. And then we got, it was like garlic. It's like garlic bread kind of thing. Let me look it up on their menu because it was very good. I gotta scan the QR code again. Continue. Fine. You can. Okay, it doesn't link your table all the time. You have to scan your table every time. I am learning that now. It's not on here. So, I don't know what it was, but it was really yummy because right now they've got their pretzel, 4 cheese toasted ravioli, which sounds really good, and then some house meatballs with Parmesan bread. It was some kind of like Parmesan garlic bready thing that was covered in Parmesan. And the kids really loved it, and I really loved it too. So I'm hoping, I'm not sure I'm getting to eat yet, but I'm super stoked for that. Yeah, so these guys have been working on this for quite a while at this point. I was digging through some old news articles trying to find more information in case I didn't have somebody to talk to today, but very hopeful that I have somebody that I can talk to within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Excuse me, depending upon, at this point, heavily depending on my schedule. I have jury duty, which is going to be lots of fun. I have to do my civic duty. As an American, it is something that I have to do. Super excited about it. Just puts a wrench in my schedule because I don't know what my life is going to be like for the next 2 weeks. So these guys have been working on opening this place for a while. One of the initial news articles said they were going to open up Memorial Day weekend of 2024. I kind of figured that wasn't going to happen because usually when you're opening a brewery, it does not happen on time. But they opened up at the end of September, which isn't too terribly far off from some places that have been almost a year after they've said that they wanted to open initially. I will start my 3rd beer so I can at least make it through my whole flight without taking forever, because I'm not drinking as quickly as some other people do. So I am drinking now. I'm going to have a patio Pilsner, which is 30 IBU and 4%. I'm super looking forward to a Pilsner. Nice crisp beer. Ooh, that's yummy. It's got a little something in it that I can't quite put my tongue on at this point. But let me figure it out. Editing Joe, I'm sorry for the silences. It's just me. Oh, that's really good. That's so smooth. That's so dangerous. But it's only 4%, so it's not like super mega dangerous. I think I ended up getting a lot of light beers right now, which is fine. Actually, no. I got stuff all across their board. I can't tell what percent their milk stout is, but the bulk of their beers fall between 4 and like 6.5%. So it's nothing like that's going to ruin your night, which is nice, especially when we're dealing with a place that's super family friendly. That's really good. So that's the patio Pilsner, and it's a little bit more straw colored. The first two beers were a little bit more golden, and it's a little cloudy, but I wouldn't call it hazy. Let's see here. So they're just getting started. Right now they're trying to fill up all of their taps, which is kind of hard to do when people like me come in and drink all of their beer. But it's nice to see a good rotation of beers, and that some of the stuff that they had when they opened is coming back on now, which makes sense because it's been about 2 weeks. You need about 2 weeks to turn stuff around in the keg. And not in the keg, the fermenter. They had a lot of lagers when they started. I'm sure they have a few more lagers that are hiding back there that we'll see in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Which I'm planning on using this place as a at least monthly like kid exchange where we come here and hang out. I come here and hang out after work, and then family comes over with the kids. We have some dinner. We have a few beers. We decompress from the week, and then we can go our separate ways. Because it's definitely nice to have a place that's a little loud. There's some movement going on, so I don't have to worry so much about what the kids are doing noise-wise. And we can go outside with them and they can get some chalk, which I'm super excited about that later today because the kids had a lot of wiggles in them yesterday. I am trying to pull up some of my links and they're not cooperating. Oh, so from their website, because I need to read some stuff off their website to make sure that I am super factual. Their website says it's lit because they're officially open. Now open Wednesdays through Sunday. So please don't try to come here on a Monday or Tuesday. And they're often asked, what kind of brewery are you? To that we say, we're the kind that cares about the community. And you can start to tell that coming in. They've got a flag that we can't see from here that is for Harrison and some of their community stuff. They're looking forward to some events that they can do with the community. And they say they want to offer a place for good people to gather and enjoy good beers, good food, and good company. We want you to feel at home when you're at Hearth Brewing. And you definitely feel like it's very homey. There's a little bit of the like metal chairs, wood table kind of feel that you get with some of the industrial breweries, but it's definitely more of a farmhouse feel than an industrial feel. And they've got these gorgeous leather couches behind me that you can sit around the hearth, which, again, in the wintertime when they start putting fires in there, I'm super looking forward to that. Definitely keep your kids away from it. Because fire. But I'm super excited. They have low table seating. They have high table seating. And I'm looking forward to going upstairs. It looks like upstairs adds at least 50% more seating than they have downstairs, probably closer to 75% more seating. And then because they have the scanning system, if they're not super busy, they can bring stuff to you. But what's also nice is if they are busy and like I order a flight, it texts me, hey, your flight is ready, and I can go up and get it, which is not something that I have seen at another brewery, but it's also been a hot second since we have super ventured out of the West Side because West Side, West Side, and we've been very active with the kids lately at places that are not breweries. So we did recently go to Sonder, and that was a lot of fun, except for the rain. But there's only so much you can do about the weather. They also have plenty of outdoor seating, which probably adds about 50% to their inside seating. It's mildly roped off, so like don't go into their parking lot with a beer. But if you want to bring a dog, you can bring a dog outside. Since it's a brewery with a kitchen, you cannot bring the dog inside. That's an Ohio law thing, not a them thing. They have plenty of high chairs available for both the low tables and the high tables. I know a problem that we've had in the past is if we can't sit at a high top because we have a kid and there's no option to put the kid in a high chair. This is really nice that they have high top, high chairs as well. Let me look at my notes again to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I did get to talk to a few people that worked here a little bit. Nobody was ready to have a full-on conversation, but that's fine. I kind of just showed up and said, hey, I'm doing something. Join me if you'd like to. And that's a lot to put on people sometimes. Yeah. It'll be really interesting to see. I think I covered most of the stuff in my notes. Their big thing is wanting to be family friendly. And what I will say as a me thing, not as a them thing, please control your kids while they're here. Because I want this place to stay very family friendly. And I want them to not have to put rules in place because of people not following them. Keep an eye on your kids. My favorite sign is the one that says all unattended children will be given an espresso and a free puppy. Because there's not... I'm going to go to the outside space here once some other people show up. But there's not, like, space to, like, run around inside. Which is also kind of nice because I know sometimes when we go to West Side, there's some open spaces where the kids are like, I can run now. And it's like, no, honey, you can't do that. I love the fact that they've tried to keep as much of the barn feel here as possible. Trying to maintain what this space started out as and keep the community in their thoughts as they're making it. I'm drinking another beer. Julia, good luck with the sip count because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is a Warrior Lager, which is 40 IBUs and 5.5%. I don't know what school is the Warriors because I don't remember what the Harrison mascot is, but it's a paw. I know that much. I'm going to look up what St. John the Baptist's logo is because St. John the Baptist School is really close. I don't know what Joe's going to do. If he's going to cut this or if he's just going to leave in the blanks. I'm sorry, hon. I thought about this too late. So I would hazard a guess that it's something with St. John the Baptist. Where's the school? School. That's my problem. I was looking at the church, not the school. I am not great vamping. I'm sorry. I will try better next time. I don't know what their mascot is because they don't tell me. Athletics. Usually that's where it tells me. They're the Jaguars, so I don't know. I don't know why it's the Warrior Lager. I will have to make note to ask them that next time I am here. And hopefully do a better job of talking to people Though right now I'm talking to myself, so this is a new experience for me. I'm really enjoying this lager, though. It is very clear. It is a little more straw than golden, but it's also very golden. It's so smooth. All of these beers are so smooth. Ooh, okay, I changed my mind. The Harrison Hoppenins is really good, and I would crush that after mowing the lawn. But I think that I would prefer a Warrior Lager. I don't know, though. This is like what's my favorite beer? It's the one that I'm currently drinking. We're in that kind of situation right now. This is making life very hard. Yeah, I'm super stoked that this place is opened, and I'm very much looking forward to enjoying it. I don't know if I personally have much more to say about it at the moment. Visit if you can. I know the West Side's really far away for some people, but this is right off of 74. And yes, it's outside of the 275 loop. So you can argue. Gnome's thing is it's 40 miles away from downtown Cincinnati, and we're definitely inside that. You can argue whether or not it's a Cincinnati brewery because it's outside of the 275 loop. It's definitely a Harrison brewery, and I think for this community that really matters. There's so much that's happening in Harrison right now. As like we've said before, both of our parents moved out here, and it was like very much like, okay, what do we do out here? And a lot of the stuff that we enjoy, there's not much to do. But now we have two breweries. Well, we have Taproom and a brewery. Both that have fantastic food. And we found a play place nearby called Magic Land that the kids love. We're super stoked to go there more often with them now. Unfortunately, Happy Hangout closed, so that's no longer a place that we can go with the kids. Hopefully somebody else is able to pick up that space and turn it into something else that the kids can enjoy, but we shall see. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to do over in Harrison now that we super enjoy. So we're really looking forward to that. It's only going to get crazier out here. I don't really follow the north side of Cincinnati that much, so this is like probably the worst person to get your news from. But like, I don't know how many new neighborhoods are going in, or like new houses are going in, like north of the 275 loop in like Mason and like Westchester and those areas anymore. But like, they're adding 500 houses behind my in-laws' place. Like, this place is just exploding with families, and this is a great place to come if you have a family. So I think that's the end of like my like super hearth portion of this, other than continuing to drink the beer. I can dive into a little bit about what's gone on with us the last few weeks. Let me stinger that. Transitions. Yeah, because we are recovering from Oktoberfest. We're mostly recovered from Donnerschwab and Oktoberfest now. It took the kids a good, I think 2 days to get enough sleep to recover from Oktoberfest. And because the weather was gorgeous, Oktoberfest was insane. We might do a something else that's me and Joe talking about it. We might not. I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. So I hung out. I went to Oktoberfest right after work on Friday. And I helped set up the booth to be ready to go when people showed up. And like within an hour or an hour and a half after me getting there, which was a good 4 hours before the fest started. 4 hours before the fest started, I was selling people stuff for straight I cannot make change cash, because people wanted stuff that weren't working there, and then people started showing up early because the weather was really pretty and they wanted to make sure they got a parking spot. So I was hanging out with the kids and Joe and Judy. We ran the merch booth. all of the beers this year that I had were fantastic, and I only had a fraction of the beers that we had available on draft. Joe showed up. He hung out with the kids for a bit. Of course, because it's Oktoberfest, the kids did not nap at all. They were too excited. They got to ride around in the gator with Opa, bringing all the stuff from the merchandise closet to our booth, which they were super stoked about. Like, the first thing that Lily told me when I got there was, I got to ride the gator. And I was like, you did, girlfriend? Oh, my goodness. And, of course, I'd already gotten a picture of it. So Joe and the kids hung out long enough to get some dinner and to dance around the booth a little bit. And then they went home for the night. I danced with the Shoeplottlers Friday night, which was a little bit crazy, but mostly fun. Because Friday night usually doesn't get too busy. Saturday, the fest doesn't open until 1, so we had a nice semi-chill morning. We tried to put on as many movies as possible for the kids, so they would just lay. And for the most part, that's all they wanted to do. Because even though they had left early, they were still pretty tired. But they also really wanted to go to the fest. So I'm going to start my last beer, which is a Sweet Dreams King Amber Ale. It is 26 IBU and 5.8%. And it is definitely amber. It is a very different color from everything else in my flight. Ooh, that's really good. I don't think I've changed my mind yet on what my lawnmower beer is. But that is a nice, smooth amber. I've said smooth a lot. I need to remember all of my beer tasting words so I can be a little bit more descriptive. I apologize. It's a pretty classic amber, though. I don't know what to say other than that. I'm so sorry. If Joe was here, he'd probably be saying other stuff. But it smells really good. It tastes really good. I don't know what I was going to say, but like there was a word that stuck in my brain that I can't get out. That's really good. So back to Oktoberfest. Saturday was a lot more crazy once we stopped and got some coffee because we needed a coffee and got to Oktoberfest, it was again like as soon as we started setting up the booth, people wanted to buy things. So I had to run and get the cash box so we could actually make change for people. And just lots of trying to manage the booth. And then Lily's friend from school came, which was a lot of fun. So Lily got to hang out with her friend from school a little bit. Joe and myself got a break from the booth for a bit as well. So I took the kids to the Kinderplatz. What's really nice about our Dirndls, because we all 4 of us marched in the parade. Oh, wait, did we not bring Elliot with us? No, we did not bring Elliot with us because Elliot did not get into his costume on Saturday. We just left him in street clothes. He was much happier that way because he was still a little grumpy from being tired and he was pretty hot. So Lily, Joe, and myself marched in the parade, and so I was in my red Dirndl for dancing. And what's nice about them is the pockets are really deep. So I took Lily, Elliot, and her friend to the Kinderplatz booth. And as they're handing me snacks that they've won, I can just shove them in my pockets and everything works out okay. And then they played on the playground. And eventually we had to say bye to her friend and he left. And then Joe and myself danced, that was the first time that Joe has danced at an Oktoberfest in almost 10 years, probably a good 8 or 9 years. We don't exactly remember when we stopped dancing. I could probably find it in photos, but I don't, off the top of my head, I do not remember. Larry just got here. So Saturday was a lot of fun. We left way earlier than we normally do because of the kids. So it was a little bit chaotic, but I'm going to help Larry get a beer and then I'll be back. Okay. I got family to hang out with and it's been ish a half hour. So we're going to try to wrap this up real fast. Sunday was a lot more crazy because the car show starts at 10. The fest opens at noon. So we didn't have like the whole morning to just sit and do nothing. Well, it's also Sunday. So we went to church. And Joe missed the memo on this one. He went in church clothes, whereas me and the kids were all in our German gear. So as we go up and get communion, and we get a few looks from people like, what are they in? And then when Lily and Joe said bye to the priest, as we were leaving, he was like, I know where you guys are going. You guys are going to Donauschwaben. And we're like, yes, we are. Best fest in the West. So it was nice because my mom and Larry came out that day. They took the kids to Kinderplatz for a little bit. They got to see Lily dance. We never really get a chance to walk around the car show because, again, we got this booth that people want to keep buying stuff from. The weather was so gorgeous. It was a little too gorgeous, but it was super nice. And, again, Joe and myself danced, which was a lot of fun. Super glad that we're getting back into that. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Donauschwaben lately. This Sunday, I'm super excited for Kirchweih Mass. Hopefully we go, which is German Mass at Old St. Mary's. So every Sunday, Old St. Mary's does a Mass fully in German. But Kirchweih Mass is special. So Kirchweih is the celebration of the anniversary of the church or the crowning of the church, I think is what it is. And so we celebrate that with Old St. Mary's, and they'll bless the rosemary bush. A lot of us will be there in costume, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But we need to close things out, and so I'm going to do that now. Okay. I was going to hit a button, but then I decided that I wasn't going to hit a button, and now I'm talking about not hitting the button. I'm sorry for who I am as a podcaster by myself. So, this has been the Craft Parenting Podcast with Caroline. Hopefully next time Joe is also with me, so it's a better conversation. If you like this episode, thanks. Great. Please tell me. If not, I'm sorry. Please listen to another one. There's normally other people here talking to me. It's not just me talking into space. Come out to Hearth Brewing. Come find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube and slam that like button, smash subscribe, ring that notification bell, all that fun stuff. Maybe if we have 50 likes on YouTube or subscribers on YouTube, I could have gone live today. I don't know. I'm able to set all of this up, and that's the level that I'm at right now. We'll see about the going live stuff later. But thanks for being here. I'm glad you could join us, or me, and I hope to see you again soon.